At our Popular Science Day, we'll continue speaking about fraud and make a deep dive into social engineering alongside with deepfakes. We'll hear from Ilya Vikulov of Gazprombank to tell us all about it. Welcome on stage. Hi all, I'm glad to see you at this Popular Science section. There are a lot of you, which means that cybersecurity is gaining popularity, which also means that we'll see a boost in cyber literacy, which helps us counter fraudsters. My name is Ilya. I work at Gazprombank with information security, and we'll speak about the trends in deception today. What new things are there and how to counter them. Here is our agenda. Why people get tricked, what social engineering is, who the people are who do that. We'll see how challenging that is. People who do this are practitioners of psychology, not just call center drones. I'll speak about leaks, I'll speak about protecting your personal data. We'll touch upon AI as well, if it's a friend or foe. And I'll give you some advice on how to not fall prey to attackers and to protect your friends and family. Here are some news clippings where fraudsters are more active in Russia. The number of victims is on the rise. The loot is as much as 15.1 billion rubles in 2023 that were stolen. But how do we get conned if we read all about it? When we pick up the phone, why do we fall for it? There are several drivers in human nature that enable this. Nobody ever forces you to do something. They just give you some perverse motivation. I'll speak about a number of factors like that are used in phishing and phishing. You've heard about phishing already. One of such motivations is curiosity. Curiosity is your unconscious ability to learn new things. It manifests from the first day of your life throughout its entirety. I think we're all curious about the new link, the prize that you've won, the new discount. That's what attackers use. Another motivation is urgency. Usually it's used in combination with other things like fear or importance. Here is a basic example. They pose as a government authority, they call you and ask to make a wire transfer, saying that it's urgent or your accounts, your bank accounts will get frozen. Then you have fear. It's hard to describe. It's not easily defined in psychology either. It might be the fear of the unknown, and it stems from lack of knowledge. Fraudsters often rely on this to engage you in illicit activities. Then you have greed, a very popular motivation. It's used in advertisements as well as in fraud, like buy two, get one for free, refer a friend, get a discount. That's the examples of greed in advertisement. Next up, importance can be used together with fear and urgency. A recent example that involves social engineer is fake boss, where posing as your manager, the attacker writes you on Telegram or WhatsApp, notifying you of an upcoming call, And you could connect, disclose some information, or become party to a fraudulent transaction. I'll give you specific examples later. And then you have justice or fairness. It's another subconscious thing for us. We all crave fairness, especially having been deceived. Attackers use that a lot too. If you were a victim of fraud once, then the next entry point for you might be where you are called upon to help catch an attacker. Motivation is not the starting point here. They are the tools to influence our mind. The patterns in our mind are the following. The first one is reciprocity. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. This would be seen in the situation where you made a promise, or someone gave you a favor. You would feel compelled to reciprocate. It's used a lot in phishing mails. A very common approach now is to use compromised data from your colleagues or suppliers or contractors. They say that, like, I gave you a favor one, can you take this poll for me, something like that. Then, social proof, which means that we tend to trust people who we know more. It works especially well in advertisements, as well as social engineering and phishing as well. You get notification that your friends have already participated in a promo. Don't miss out as well. Then we have sympathy. Let me give you an example first. It's used a lot in ads too. Celebrities are hired. They participate in a campaign and boost revenues from the product. Pretty much the same happens in fraudulent schemes, where in the name of a celebrity, attackers put up a phishing website that collects your confidential information, like entering your banking details. Unfortunately, this leads to illicit activities by the attackers. Consistency. It's very similar to social proof. People tend to stick to their word or agreements. Phone fraud can be multi-stage now. On the first day, you'll get called and they'll suggest that you can help in catching a fraudster. That would be your drive for fairness or justice. You'll say that you'll call back, okay, but the next day or some days after, they'll call you and start by saying that you promised this. This idea of promise will switch your mental state into a less critical perception of what you'll be told, including told to do. Then you have authority or credibility, where fraud is done in the name of your manager or some government authority, where they tell you to share some confidential information or click a link, take part in a poll. Then you have the shortage of resources. It's common in ads, where they tell you that it's the last day of the best discount ever. You'll probably see it up in a week or in a month. But that's how it works. Now, who are social engineers? Having learned what we saw just now, the motivations, the mental patterns, you might think that social engineers are not just call center drones, but actual practitioners or psychologists. They have scripts tailored to different age groups, for example. These scripts are used in phone calls, and if you stick to the script, they are successful. We've seen it in the news, the number of funds stolen from our neighbors and customers has been on the rise. How does data get leaked? Well, it's quick and easy, actually. More than 100 million entries of passports, taxpayer identifiers, and other IDs have been leaked. On the news, it can be as high as 500 million, but this is due to calculation methodology, I think. These leaks are helpful to fraudulent call centers because they can profile you as a potential victim. It's pretty advanced, actually. These are office spaces, they have CRMs where they collect data on each potential victim. They flag successful and unsuccessful attempts and note the success rate of the attacks and the number of funds stolen. Leaks are a great help for them because you can dig up very different data there as far as your preferences. Food delivery services were hacked, as you might have heard, and this gives attackers plenty of data to manipulate you. I strongly advise that you check if your data has been leaked. The portal for Safe Internet recently launched this service to look up your leaks. This portal is maintained by the National Center for Countering Computer Incidents. So do run a check and see what's up with your data. But be mindful of QR codes as well. This is another phishing technique, actually. It's quite effective, especially since the COVID pandemic was mentioned by the previous speaker. So I don't think you've scanned this one, right? Onto some new techniques. This is a real incident in the slide. That's the fake boss approach, where on behalf of the manager, or in the name of the manager, there was a message to an employee that they were to be contacted by a security agency. They needed to respond promptly, pick up the phone, and answer all the questions. Usually, these attacks end up in theft of money. This is a report by Gartner, a research agency that monitors different trends in research. And the first place here is taken by AI. It can be part of information security, but also part of an attack. Attackers have been relying on AI more actively recently. They've come up with a lot of tools to deploy AI in attacks. This is another real incident. It's from abroad. It happened to a cybersecurity company. In the name of the director, there was a voice message to an employee where it requested to disclose certain details of a transaction, of a deal, and then they called her. The voice was almost identical to the manager. Unfortunately, the attackers succeeded. Data was disclosed. Notably, that company is one of the major vendors of password manager software. So more tricky incidents are to follow, we can assume. How to safeguard yourself then and help protect your family and friends? First, apply critical thinking to any offer or proposal. Promotion campaigns, messages from fake bosses, always double-check the information. It's not too much of a bother to make a call and double-check that the message is real. If it's through corporate email, just call your colleague and make sure that it's them or it's a phishing attack. If it is, report it to your InfoSec. Attackers are usually clever, and they do not call you when you're rested and at home. Usually it's in rush hours, where you're in the midst of it all, to catch you off guard. There are certain mental states where critical thinking is impeded under load. So a code or a confirmation can slip out of you. If you were caught off guard, take a pause, say that you'll call back. Stick to this rule. If I don't see it, I don't trust it, and I have to check it, verify it. Never make a decision on the spot, even if you feel that you don't have the time. Urgency is bad for money. As an employee of a bank, I can tell you this with great confidence. There are a lot of incidents, but we are able to counter them. We are quite effective at that. Do remember that if you're asked for confidential information, money or personal data, make you follow some protocol which is quite relevant due to the current geopolitical situation and activity of hacker groups. They can be driven not just by financial motivation, but by politics. If they try to make you do something, cut them short, because these are most likely attackers. In closing, continue improving your cyber literacy. Spread the knowledge that you've gained at this fest. Help your friends and family, especially those who are older, because a lot of seniors are really soft at heart and try to prevent